Hey everybody! I got a little guest with me. This is my son, Christopher. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. This is going to be a different video because before too long my wife is going to do her own thing using the computer. And Bubba here is going to be asleep when that happens. But I'm really doing a review on a game called Northgard. And it's basically a real-time strategy. It's kind of ultimately like chess, but it is highly influenced by the Norse mythology. No, don't touch anything. Just there. Is that a little better? There, that's a little better. He's showing his fingers. So what you like to do? Do you like to play your watch Blaze the Monster Machines? Big Blaze fan. He also likes Bubble Guppies. And but most of my time I spend interacting with my son. He's trying to make funny faces right now. What do you see? He's smiling. He had a good day today. We mostly watched TV because there's not much else to do. Anyways, it's like I said, it's a real-time strategy game. I don't want to show any gameplay footage because the screen, I don't have the capabilities right now to show video game footage. Maybe within the next couple of months I'll find something to do. There. He's got his car he's showing right now. It's one of his favorite toys. Lightning McQueen. It's one of those pull back and let go type toys, and it goes around in a big circle. But he just likes to pretend to play to drive it around. He doesn't like to do the pull back thing that much. But there you go. I'm going to pause it for a second. I think it's time for his bath, but just wanted to do an interesting introduction. Hold on a second. Well, I guess we'll still play the video and show it. Do you like Mario? Do you know you like Mario? Mario's fun. He likes Mario. Mario Odyssey. He had a lot of fun watching me play that one. Mario gets to throw his hat, and he jumps on the hat, and he gets to jump up. And his hat is actually a new friend named Cappy. Cappy helps Mario in this game. What do you think of that? Do you think that's cool? You like that? As I said with my last video, I recently picked up Super Mario Odyssey again. And that's just because there's much more to do with it than Call of Cthulhu. Even though I beat Mario and I'm learning how to play it again on the Switch Lite because it's got limited capability, but it's still playable. It's still fun. It's still worth exploring. Okay, stop showing that to the screen. You're blocking our faces, silly. You're blocking our faces. Yes. Yes, we know. You are silly. Alright. I'm going to continue this video later, guys. Hold on a second. This is my other little one. Her name is Layla. And here's Bubba. And she's laughing. But this is what I spend most of my time with during the day. You hear the bath in the background because it's someone's bath. And it's time for this one's bed. Want to say hi to everyone? Hi. All right. Now say bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, guys. That was a little bit of my family. I'm sorry that wasn't conventional, but anyways, like I said, I did a video of Northgard. It's a real-time strategy, or given the acronym of RTS, and in which you basically create a whole city and army, and you try and see if you can be the sole survivor of, I guess, since this is highly influenced by Norse mythology, Ragnarok. And there's multiple factions. The faction that I chose is the Wolf faction, which is greater emphasis on war and strategy. But there's also the Ravens, Odin's Ravens, which literally has a more tech sensitive bonuses where they can get more technology and more advancements and more knowledge and wisdom. There's a bear, there's a boar, there's I think a stag or a deer. There's a lot of different groups. I try to have a great variety in my games I play, and I've been trying really hard to find a good RTS for the Switch. And right now, until they decide to port to Age of Empires, of which I am so picking up because you can't go wrong with that one. I mean, I got Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale and a few other old PC ports, but when it comes to Dungeon Crawlers PC games, since I've played newer games, it's hard to go back to how they used to be. It really is. Like I was playing Planescape Torment the other day, and I'm like, boy, I'm so glad that Diablo 3 does a better job with the mechanics and the controls. I'm not going to get rid of those games. It's one of those I need to get good, but boy, I think I mentioned before, it's like learning how to ride a bicycle again. It's a lot of fun, but they're classics. They're worth keeping in anyone's library. Eventually, I'll play them again, and I'll eventually be good enough to play. I have so many games in my backlog. I mean, for example, I have Witcher 3. I have yet to play it because my wife wants to play around on it. But from a lot of people describing it to me, they said it's essentially the Skyrim we should have gotten a long time ago. And I tend to agree with that. But back to Northgard, I didn't play too much of it. Again, I have a big backlog, and I got bored easily. But it's not knowing how to play. It's more of it's an RTS. For better or for worse, it's one of those games you literally have to build an entire civilization, and I'm just at the beginning stages of it. And I've played enough Age of Empires to know how. I mean, it's not known for its tremendous speed and timing. It's you build a civilization, and then you go and explore with your army that you've created, and you go take out the other factions. It's it's as simplistic as it gets, but it's a lot of fun though. I love those games. Like music, I'm a rock and roll guy through and through. However, on my playlist, on my YouTube playlist, I have stuff from the Balkan Peninsula, I have stuff from France, I have stuff from Asia, I have stuff that's highly influenced by Mongolian culture. The throat, like heavy emphasis on the throat thing, and they have own style of music. I don't even know what to call it, but it's really cool. Um, Same way with my games. Yeah, I like your shmups and like literally you have to dodge bullets in the void and shoot back and stuff like that, and there's a strategy and finesse associated with that. I like my RPGs and your Final Fantasy X, your if they ever port Kingdom Hearts, I'll definitely get Kingdom Hearts if they port it to the Switch. Hyrule Warriors, your crime scene investigation style games, AI Somnium Files, for example. Your What the Hey Japan type games, they can be fun in their own right. I say I bring all these different genres up because variety is the spice of life, and I love to see a variety in my games, and I love to, I don't want to just play this particular genre. I mean, the only one I sort of clear, steer clear of, and that's basically your warfare games, your Call of Duties, your Medal of Honors, your Tom Clancy Ghost Recon games. I don't like those games. They really, it really turns into how racist can we make our main characters or our main team that you want to see succeed? How racist do you want to see them and their superiors? It's like, really, guys? Is that really all you? How? It is really poorly personifying America. It really is. So some people, oh, it's a great personification. No, it's really not. It's like taking America from the 40s and how racist they were more verbally and openly and modernizing it and all the negative stereotypes, and you got your big brawly guys, and it's like, no, this is it's really really not that great. It's too close to home for me. Yes, I'm a veteran, but even before I was in the army, I never really could get into those games just because it's like, yeah, I I said so on a Veterans Corner the other day. I entertain myself with ways to escape the reality I am in, not to be reminded of the reality that I live in, if that makes any sense. Game of Thrones, same way. I want to see the dragons getting slain and the damsels in distress getting rescued. I don't want to see logistics behind war. I don't want to be reminded of how terrible and horrible war really is. I want to play a game where I play as a dragon, gathering loot and saving other dragons. Spyro, if that wasn't obvious enough. I want to play a bipedal bandicoot going through his world, getting rid of a mad scientist. That's fun to me. It's entertainment. I don't want to see, the nitty gritty realisms associated with everyday life. Um, RTSs, yeah, it has that aspect in it, but it's far enough away to where you're building a civilization. This is how a civilization studies. Some of it's realistic, some of it's not. But this almost its own exception, in my opinion. Um, but I really would rather play, games where a plumber crashing a wedding, going through these beautiful landscapes, absolutely just stunning in the graphics department and in everything in the visual department, and you get it. It's like, wow, this is really a big universe that Mario is a part of, and all these people, they're not depicted as Mario's stomping platforms. They actually have lives, and they are seeing what happens when it tyrannical maniac takes over. And I like fantasy. There's a lot of people feel that fantasy has no place anymore, but it really does. It has the biggest, influences that most people would never think of. For example, automatic doors. Most people take this for granted, but Target, Walmart, every place you ever can see with an automatic door, you can thank Star Trek for that. It was first seen in Star Trek before it became a reality. Here's another one. Submarines. 20,000 leagues under the sea. First time anyone saw anything remotely about a submarine, as we know a submarine is now. From Earth to the Moon, same thing. Rockets. No one ever knew what a rocket was or how to make it. You first saw it in fiction. All these ideas, all these things you see and you take for granted, probably was envisioned first in a sci-fi novel. Sorry guys, I had to pause it real quick. Had a little Cupid walking by. Anyways, as I was saying, these games, a lot of people don't find use in fantasy or science fiction when they clearly do. Want to say goodnight, Bubba? He's gonna say goodnight to the camera. Say goodnight. You gonna say goodnight? Say goodnight.
Night.
Night night. Okay. And Gremlin's going to bed right here. There's my wife. But all these things have a very important meaning and significance in the grander scheme of things. Like I said, I don't like being reminded of reality. Likewise, I want to say partially my PTSD, and on paper it's written as anxiety, but I know what it is. I really have issues seeing any kind of oppression. Like, case in point, I was going to school a few years ago at OCCC, and I took government class. They did a documentary on the justice system, the criminal justice system, and I had to leave. I couldn't stand at all. So it also happened that I saw it literally around the worst time of the year of my life. The worst time of the year for me, I should say. But back to this video, I think it's worth picking up on the Switch. I think everyone should own it. Tell me what you think. I honestly think, despite the Switch's design flaws, everyone should own it. As you saw, I have both the red box Switch and I have the Switch Lite. And I totally use both. Probably the beginning of next month, I'm going to pick up the little Switch Fitness Adventure, Ring Fit Adventure, whatever it's called. I might pick that up. Check it out because it looks like a lot of fun. I know I can't use it on the real Switch Lite. Actually, I might because I have spare Joy-Cons, so I might. I'll check it out. See if I can. It'll be worth it. We're coming on the 20-minute mark, guys. This is a short video. It's probably going to be even shorter because it may or may not have to be edited or reshot, in which you will never know. You guys have a wonderful evening.